for mayor?
I like Cuomo, but I think Mamdani might be pulling the lead a little bit with me.
What's your favorite example of socialism that's worked?
I don't have a big example of it, of socialism.
Like between Venezuela, Cuba, Soviet Union, what's your favorite one?
Man, you put me on the spot. I'm gonna have to go Cuba. Man, I'm gonna have to go Cuba. Yeah. Let's go there. It's just so complicated for me. I got so much information in my head, but I'm gonna go with that.
Do you think Mamdani's the future of the Democratic Party?
I mean, I hope so.
I'd probably go Cuba too. Now that we're thinking, what's the best socialist country to live in? I'd probably go Cuba for the beaches, right? The food's brutal, but the beaches are nice. Don't go in the city. No, don't go in the city. But the beaches are nice. Now, if we're talking about beaches in socialist countries, when I was on the cruise ship, we would get off on Margarita Island, which is right off the coast of Venezuela. And if you stuck to the beaches, it was actually quite nice. Don't go in the city though. You want to stay out of the socialist cities in these countries, right? The beaches, pretty nice. Although Cuba's nice water, shitty food though. Like, you want to talk about depressing, spend a week in Cuba and eat that food. Oh my God, it changes your whole physiology. But Venezuela too, you stay on the coast. You don't go into these socialist countries. Don't go too deep. But the beaches are nice. Now, also, don't fade Canada on a place to go. Speaking of socialism, don't fade Canada. I mean, in the summer, as long as the mosquitoes are gone, which they kind of are, it's not too bad. It's 2 weeks. Summer's 2 weeks in Canada. It's not. Don't go to Ontario. Obviously, you don't want to go there. It's kind of like going to India. You want to stay away from Ontario. BC's getting a little weird too. People are losing their houses there. You know, they took out mortgages, some 50-year mortgages, right? Only to find out that they don't actually own their house. And in concert, the government in concert with some of the indigenous reserves are just gonna, take them. And there's nothing they can do about it. But that doesn't mean socialism doesn't work, right? It just means they're going to have to figure it out. I don't know how they do it. But it's such a good idea, socialism. And I can't wait for people who really champion it to start contributing to the lower classes. I think that's what I'm really looking for. Like, for instance, we'll take care. We'll get to the price in a second. We talked about it. This one is particularly.
And what about the government-run grocery stores? Do you think that that's a model that could work?
Yes.
And
I
why?
think there's too many hungry people and too many potatoes here that are $5 a pound.
Yeah, you got to lower the prices.
Notice the conflation with things costing too much and greed. Has nothing to do with dollar debasement. These people don't know dollar debasement, right? Most people don't know. They just think price goes up. It sells greedy goddamn food. Potato farmers.
Is there anything else about Zoran that gets you excited about him?
I'm excited that he gets young people excited, and I'm excited to see people standing in line, hopefully, to vote for something new.
And last thing, the number one comment I get on some of my videos is that socialism doesn't work. It's been tried many times. Why do you think it'll work?
This isn't social.
Honey, I'll mansplain this. That's the best part.
Socialism he's talking about, social democracy. Government should work to encourage people to thrive and be successful. Everybody thrive. It shouldn't be a matter of it should be equality, not supremacy. It should be a matter of bringing everybody up, and not just having a few people with entirely too much money.
I can't wait to see these people start contributing to socialism, because they're not going to be able to stay in their house, right? Their house is too big, it's worth too much money. There's too many people starving, too many homeless people, but they're going to be super excited to start contributing. It doesn't matter if they work their whole life for their house, their little nest egg, these boomers and their nest egg. They're going to have it redistributed, and that's the beauty of it. That truly is the beauty of it. I can't wait to see that. I pulled a prank on the dad lately. My dad's like as woke boomer as you can get. I said, hey, he came over. I'm like, hey, I got some good news. They asked me if I knew any senior citizens who would want to give their house to immigrants, just temporary. And I was like, yeah, my dad, he goes away actually for about 6 months of the year. And his house literally sits empty. So I signed you up. They're probably going to end at this point. He's like, because you got to remember, like, they're gullible, right? He actually thought this. He's sitting there going, you did not. He got so mad. Like, what are you getting mad for? You don't even use your house, and you're all for immigrants coming in. We can use your house. You're gone 6 months. God, there's like 1, 2, 3. There's 4 bedrooms, 2 levels, and no one in there. We could probably house a dozen immigrants, if not 3 or 4 families. And think about that. Think about how much you're helping with your earned wealth. You know, you earned it. You learned. You worked all your life, but now you can give back. 6 months of the year, house. What's the worst that can happen that year? You know, he absolutely freaked out. But it's a good lesson for him. Did he learn anything? No. You know, once it was a prank, it was like, oh, don't scare me about that. That's crazy. Here's another one. This is great too.
So you get on Commie Card, and once you get
I think he said Commie Con or Commie Card Club.
you get your Commie Card, I can send you a referral link. I can get you on Commie Card. Once you get on
When he says referral link, does that mean whoever clicks on that link, he gets some money? Because that would be wrong too, right? Based on the setup for him to, benefit from any affiliate links, that's weird.
Commie Card, everything in the whole fucking shits will be free. When you go to any store, anything.
You asked for communism. What attracts you to communism?
What attracts me? Just free. I like when everything's free and I don't have to do anything. That sounds like a dream to me.
Anything free in particular you're looking forward to if Mamdani wins? Free
hookers, free fucking prostitutes, free fucking flaming hot Cheetah, free Jägermeister, free fucking Marlboro menthol.
Now at this point, you got to be asking yourself, this is maybe a parody, right? And he's trolling. Could be.
Fucking Newports, all that shit. That would be it. Like any all of that shit. I mean, I do anything. I'll take what I can get. I'm not gonna be picky. If I can't only get some, then fine.
So if you go back to when socialism was basically ended, now it never really ends because people always bring it up, and the farther you get away from it, the more attractive it seems. But it's around 90, 91, 92 is when there was a lot of countries in the Eastern Bloc, Europe, that was under the Soviet Union, USSR, right? So they were de facto socialist countries. But once that was ripped away, they ripped away as well. The problem is that, so 91, what is that, 35 years? That's a generation away, right? So an entire generation grew up not knowing anything about it. Obviously, you're not taught about that in school. Why would they teach you about that? Got better things to teach you about, and especially in Canada, but don't get me started on that one. And so they 25 or 30, and they see that, life isn't fair, and they demand fairness. I get it. But as you get older, you kind of realize that life isn't fair and never will be fair, no matter how hard you try to make it fair. So for instance, just a simple example of maybe how much you care about your health. So when everything's redistributed and there's equality, how does that happen with, when we see what is it called? The SNAP benefits, or I don't know what it is in United States, the food stamps, right? You see these massively obese people, usually black, complaining that they don't get their food stamps, which I can understand that. But imagine what would they do when they only get the same amount of food stamps as, say, the other 50% of not obese people, right? That can't work. There's a pecking order to life. No matter how equal things are, that's not how humans human. We have pecking orders just like chickens in a farm, and no matter what, we will form them somehow. Just the idea that someone like a capital allocator, no one allocates capital better than a government, of course, right? So let's just leave it all to them. They can do no wrong. They never have done wrong. And eventually they'll get it right, eventually. But, you got to have a low time horizon with socialism. Did it fail every time so far? Yeah. Doesn't mean it can't work. We just got to keep hammering away at it. And now I actually think we live in the illusion of capitalism, especially in Canada, but even in the States. As long as there's a Fed, it's not really capitalism. I mean, you could maybe squish it into crony capitalism to a certain degree, and that would be your best case scenario. But it's not free market capitalism, because if it was free market capitalism, all the banks would go down, for one, and then you would have the cascading effect, and the market would pick up certain assets at 10 cents on the dollar, and then it would build and build and build and build. And that's kind of the premise. Imagine like supply and demand. So, with the grocery stores in New York being government run, just because it's never worked doesn't mean it can't work in New York. I think one of the problems is that they're allowed to use those stamps on anything. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. Can they go there with, $1,000 worth of food stamps? I don't know how much they get, and buy Kit Kats or buy Long Johns or apple fritters? Like, could they clear the bakery out of apple fritters or are there restrictions? Because if there's no restrictions, then humans are going to human. Imagine the pecking order. Imagine the pecking order of people that enjoy, say, exercising and eating healthy, getting the same amount as people that are obese and never exercise, or vice versa. I mean, it's kind of like my makeup analogy with pretty girls. 6s tell 9s to wear more makeup. 9s put on makeup, they come down to 7. 6s put on makeup, they go up to 7. So it kind of equalizes. So if you have like food distribution equality, these obese people it's not like they're going to give the same amount of food to these healthy people. Then I know what would happen. Let's go down that highway. Now I'm getting ahead of myself. But let's say equality was all the obese people, no matter how much they got, everyone else got. So now you have these people who have a surplus of food stamps. What are they going to do with it? I know. They can do with what some of these obese moms do. They actually sell the food stamps. Almost like a black market type of thing.